What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday and welcome back to another installment of Mr. Eric Reads. I hope that your weekend has been great and that you are geared up and ready for school tomorrow because we're ready to see you, that's for sure. Tonight we have a book that is one of the most classic characters that has been created in children's literature, in my opinion at least. It's by Herman Parish and it's Amelia Bedelia, and this one is called Good Driving, Amelia Bedelia. Now, if you know anything about Amelia Bedelia, you know there's hijinks and shenanigans. So, without further ado, let's find out what they are, right here on Mr. Eric Reads. Amelia Bedelia walked into the kitchen. Mr. and Mrs. Rogers sang out, "Happy birthday, Amelia Bedelia!" "Thank you," said Amelia Bedelia. "Take the day off, dear, to celebrate," said Miss Rogers. "Well, I'll go and visit my cousin Alkulu," said Amelia Bedelia. "Well, use our car," said Mr. Rogers. "Oh, I haven't driven in years," said Amelia Bedelia. "Is your license still good?" asked Miss Rogers. "Oh, it's great," said Amelia Bedelia. "You see how nice my picture looks?" "Your license is fine," said Mr. Rogers. "Let's see if your driving is as good as your picture. Meet me at the car. A short drive in the country will do you good." So they backed out of the driveway and away they went. Amelia Bedelia drove very carefully. "What a beautiful farm," said Mr. Rogers. "Yes, and what a nice bunch of cows," said Amelia Bedelia. "Herd of cows?" said Mr. Rogers. "Herd of cows? Of course I've heard of cows," said Amelia Bedelia. "No," said Mr. Rogers. "I mean a cow herd." So what if a cow herd?" said Amelia Bedelia. "I didn't say anything bad." Some cows had wandered onto the road. "Watch out!" said Mr. Rogers, and Amelia Bedelia stopped the car. "Steer straight," said Mr. Rogers. "No," said Amelia Bedelia. That steer is behind us." A cow with big horns looked into the car. "Push on the horn," said Mr. Rogers. So Amelia Bedelia gently pushed on the cow's horn. "Mrrrr." Mr. Rogers pushed hard on the car's horn. "Honk!" And the cows ran back into the field. Mr. Rogers took out a road map. "I am looking for a crossroad," he said. "It'll have signs to tell us where to go." "Well, while you look, I'll go for a walk," said Amelia Bedelia. "Get some directions if you can," said Mr. Rogers. So Amelia Bedelia came right back in 5 minutes. "I did not find a crossroad," she said. "They were all very nice, but I got a lot of directions. Would you like north or south? Ooh, I also have a very nice southeast." "Now we are lost," said Mr. Rogers. "I have no idea where we are." "I know where we are," said Amelia Bedelia. "We are right here." Mr. Rogers looked back at his map. They got back in the car. "Should I look for another nice road?" said Amelia Bedelia. "Don't you dare," said Mr. Rogers. "You need to look for the fork in the road." I once looked for a needle in a haystack, said Amelia Bedelia. I never did find it. Mr. Rogers pointed straight ahead. There's the fork, he said, and Amelia Bedelia looked very hard. She saw a road that split into two roads. Which road is the fork in? Asked Amelia Bedelia. This road, said Mr. Rogers. I don't see any forks or spoons, said Amelia Bedelia. Which way should I turn? Turn left, said Mr. Rogers. Left? Asked Amelia Bedelia. Right, said Mr. Rogers. Oh, okay, I will turn right, said Amelia Bedelia. Not right, said Mr. Rogers. Right is not right. Well, right is not left, said Amelia Bedelia. That's right, said Mr. Rogers. Left is right and right is wrong. I'm really mixed up, said Amelia Bedelia. Right is wrong and left is right. Which way should I turn? Bear left, shouted Mr. Rogers. So Amelia Bedelia made a sharp turn to the right. Amelia Bedelia, shouted Mr. Rogers. Why did you turn right? Because, said Amelia Bedelia, you warned me about the bear. What bear? Asked Mr. Rogers. You said there was a bear on the left, said Amelia Bedelia. There was no bear, yelled Mr. Rogers. I said bear left. Oh, said Amelia Bedelia. If I had known that the bear had left, I would not have turned right. Mr. Rogers was about to blow up, but the tire beat him to it. Ugh, a flat tire, said Mr. Rogers. He got out to put on the spare. Mr. Rogers opened the trunk, and he let out a big yell. What's wrong? Asked Amelia Bedelia. Did that bear come back? Where is the spare tire? Said Mr. Rogers. And where is the jack? I don't know where Jack went, said Amelia Bedelia. Miss Rogers took everything out of the trunk yesterday. She said she had a lot to buy at the party store. Mr. Rogers let out a sigh. This has been a long drive in the country, said Amelia Bedelia. Yeah, and the walk back to town will be even longer, said Mr. Rogers. Stay here. I'll go and get help. Good luck, said Amelia Bedelia, and Mr. Rogers disappeared down the road. Minutes later, Amelia Bedelia heard something coming. It was not Mr. Rogers. It was not even a car. It was a tow truck. How there? Do you need any help? Asked the driver. Well, that depends, said Amelia Bedelia. Are you a Jack? Well, no, my name is John, he said. But you can call me Jack for short. I don't care how tall you are, said Amelia Bedelia. If you're a Jack, you'll do. Jack looked at the flat tire, and he pulled out a big nail. Here's your problem, said Jack. A nail? Said Amelia Bedelia. I thought I ran over a fork in the road. Jack smiled. Do you have a spare tire? I'd like to give you one, said Amelia Bedelia. But we don't have enough good tires for ourselves. Jack smiled again. Would you like me to give you a tow? Oh, I've got all tows I need. But could you pull our car back to town? Asked Amelia Bedelia. Good idea, said Jack, and he hooked up the car, and they drove down the road and picked up Mr. Rogers, and then they headed for home. There was a big crowd outside of Roger's house. Heh, it looks like a party, said Jack. How wonderful, said Amelia Bedelia. Mr. Rogers got out of the truck. Good heavens, said Miss Rogers. You look run down. Oh, don't say that around Amelia Bedelia, said Mr. Rogers. She might do it. Happy birthday there, Amelia Bedelia, said Cousin Alculu. Hello, Cousin Alculu, said Amelia Bedelia. Mr. Rogers was helping me practice my driving so I could come see you, but we didn't get very far. Yeah, that's okay, said Cousin Alculu. I can drive and I can come see you anytime you want. You will not have to drive at all. Mr. Rogers shook his hand. Thank you, Cousin Alculu. It may be Amelia's birthday, but you just gave me the best present ever. Amelia Bedelia cut giant slices of birthday cake for everyone, and nobody had to go out on the road to find a fork. The end. Good old Amelia Bedelia and Good Driving Amelia Bedelia by Herman Parish. Right here on Mr. Eric Reads. As you guys see, Amelia Bedelia takes everything literally. And that's what's funny about her. Hope you guys enjoyed that story. Come back again tomorrow night. We'll have another tale for you. Rest up. Stay safe, guys. Wash your hands. Practice kindness in everything you do. And you young readers, you turn into our future leaders. And I'm excited to see it happen. Take care, guys.